The first part of our project is coloring in skin and hair. You'll start with the lighter color first and then use brighter colors to create shadows on the face and body. You might want to add shadow under the chin, the collarbone, the sides of the nose, the cheekbones, and you can use those same colors to outline parts of the face and body like your lips, eyebrows, around the eyes, your fingers, just to make you look even more colorful and use these colors again. Since we're not using realistic colors, your hair could be any color you want, and just create texture using lines to make it look more realistic. The next part of our project is coloring in our clothing and creating texture in our clothes. I happen to be wearing a fuzzy sweater in this picture, so I want to create that fuzzy texture. Texture is this idea that someone will know what something feels like or can guess what something feels like just by looking at it. And so I'm using my pencil to create little strokes to make it seem fuzzy. As for the dress, while it's a beautiful pattern and it's very colorful, it's not necessarily these colors, but I chose these colors because they are the same ones I used for skin tone, and it will make the image look more like it fits together. If your clothes doesn't have patterns, you can add a pattern and add more colors than were actually in the clothes just to make it look more colorful. The next part is cutting and gluing. Just cut around your image, making sure not to cut anything off, and glue it to your poster. The next part of the project is planning where your words are going to go. I used a piece of paper to plan out what my message was going to be and where I was going to place it on the poster. I decided to go for an inspiring message. You're powerful, not powerless. And I wanted the focus of the poster to be the photo, which I placed in the middle. So I decided, why not put the words around that image so people's eye would be drawn to that. After I wrote it once, I decided, let me write the message in different ways, upside down, backwards, in cursive. I rephrased the message, power people, people power, powerful. And the main point is to try and fill as much of the background with text. Also, because it's in pencil, you want to make sure everything's spelled correctly. Now that your words are outlined, we're going to use Sharpie to make them stand out even more. Now, one of the things that's really important to remember is that we're trying to use the same colors so that way everything looks like it goes together. Well, unfortunately, one of the things that I didn't do was test my Sharpies somewhere else on another piece of paper to make sure they were the right colors. So my pink came out a lot redder than I wanted it to. So, quick tip, test your Sharpies somewhere else before you put them on your poster. One way that I wanted to make everything stand out was by making every single word a different color. And I want to make sure that it's legible, it's readable, people can understand my message. You want to try to cover the pencil marks using the Sharpie. So just make sure to do it carefully and neatly, and go slow if you have to. You want people to understand your message and to be able to read the words that you wrote. So that's what's really important here. Now that we have our words outlined in Sharpie, we're ready to do the background. For the background, we're going to use watercolor to make everything more vibrant and colorful. The good news is that if you do get paint on your letters, it won't completely cover the marker, but you still want to go around the letters one at a time, taking your time, because if you do get watercolor on certain colors like yellow and orange, you might change the color, right? Color theory, if you put yellow and blue together, it's going to turn green. So if you don't want it to change a different color than you intended, just make sure that you go around the letters. And you want to make sure that if you do go on the letters, that it is light enough that you can still read them. You want to try to use as many of the colors we've been using already to make the poster just as colorful as the image in the middle and the rest. Once our watercolor is dried, we're going to use acrylic paint just to add one more colorful element and to fill in parts of the background. We're also going to use it to highlight parts of the poster we want to show up more. And finally, here's your finished project.